purposefully timing the upload of this video around the time those of you who ordered my collection should start to be getting your items now, or they're coming very, very soon. And I'm here to just give you a bit of a deeper dive into how to use my palette, give you some inspiration. I know some of you said you might not have been the most comfortable with these colors. I'm really going to break the palette down for you to make the palette super simple so you know how to create looks without even thinking about it. Today's video is themed around all of my 2-in-1 and 1-and-done looks that you can get with this palette. If you haven't tuned in the last couple of weeks, my love language collection that I did in collaboration with ODENS is available on their website right now. The collection includes 5 lip shades and then 1/16 pan eyeshadow palette. And you guys, I am so proud of this palette, honestly. The more I talk about it, the more proud I become, because each of these shades were very thoughtfully placed and purposefully placed in a way that you can create looks without even having to think hard about what you want to create. Of course, the variety of the shades and finishes that I chose does allow for a lot of different looks that can be created. However, if you don't want to use your brain power, maybe you're new to eyeshadows and are still learning how colors coordinate, what looks good, what doesn't, I'm going to walk you through it. So first and foremost, the most basic way to lay out this palette so that you don't have to think too hard about what look you can do is by quadrants. So this is a whole pink look for you to do right here, a whole neutral look. I did a whole tutorial on this look right here. You can create a look with these four and you can create a look with these four. So that's the basic layout. But if you want to go even deeper, I don't even think that I shared this enough with you. I know I did in some videos, but beyond creating quads, I also created 2-and-done looks very easily for you. So literally each shade was placed next to a shade that it was going to look good with. And today I'm going to show you what I had in mind for looks for why I placed each shadow where. So I'm going to show you some 2-in-1 looks. Now I just want to say, when it comes to 1-and-done looks, I'm not counting like a little bronzer in the crease, but I do recommend if you're doing a 1-and-done look with this palette, have a little bit of bronzer in the crease, and any of these shimmers are going to look phenomenal on their own. So I don't feel the need to have to show you that, but obviously all of the shimmers here are going to be gorgeous on their own. Maybe not this one. This was my wild card shade, even though I'm a little uncomfortable with it, but I'm going to show you how I would like to use it. So I'm going to show you what I had in mind for each look of the duos that I created here. And you guys, if you want to get even deeper into how easy this palette is to use, for the most part, there's a couple that won't go as great with each other, but you can also work vertically for the duos as well. They'll also look good. Like this one, maybe not. But for the most part, no matter what direction you can go, next to, above, you can get a super simple look. My intention for this palette was to be super easy to use no matter what level you are at applying makeup, or if you just generally prefer a simpler eye look, you can get it with this. So come on in. Now, if you are truly a beginner to eyeshadow, I added this shade Service right here for you to place all over the eyelid to help make your shadows blend easier. So I'm not counting this as the 2 eyeshadows. This is us just laying a base down. You can do this with translucent powder as well. But the shade Service right here, I made it pretty sheer but buildable so that if you put a sheer layer all over your lid, just as I did, it doesn't really disrupt any color that you're going to put over top, but it will set whatever base you're using to make the shadows blend easier if you need that little bit of help. I also added this shade in here if you do have a, let's say, a dark crease color and it's just looking a little unblended. Take a little bit of Service on the end of your blending brush and then work that in to soften that deep shade that you might be having trouble blending out. So this is my beginner-friendly shade here for blending help. I named it Service for that reason. So the first look I want to do is going to be for this duo right here. Now, obviously we have this brighter pink here, and I was tasked with creating a Valentine's Day palette, so I just felt like I had to have this to give it that Valentine's pop. But this is the wild card shade for me, probably the shade in this palette that I'm the least comfortable with, but I've actually surprised myself with how much I've utilized this. So what I envisioned for this duo here, I'm just taking some of Valentine on my thumb, on my middle finger, and I'm just gonna start slowly blending this in the outer corner, or patting it and placing it, not really blending. I will warn, this will stain your eyelid, especially if you apply a thick layer of it at the end of the day when you take your makeup off. Don't be alarmed, it's a hot pink. That's what happens, but this will stain your eyelid. So I'm just patting it. And this can be applied with a brush as well. I like that it's a shimmer formulation, that makes it easier. I'm gonna take a clean blending brush and just soften the edges. Now you have two options with this particular 2-in-1 look. I've decided I'm gonna go halfway in. You can put Valentine all over the eyelid and then layer heart on top. I'm gonna go halfway in to show you how it would layer on top of Valentine, but also leave half of my lid bare so you can see how heart lays on bare skin on its own. I meant to do two different looks instead of one look on each eye, but that's okay. We'll get a full look with this one then, on both eyes. Okay, and now I'm gonna take Heart. This is a shade that I do recommend to get the most out of it, applying with your finger. Though I'm not using glitter glue, I've seen a lot of people do prefer to use ODENS eye shadows with glitter glue. I don't have too much of an issue, I don't mind. But look at that, simple 2-and-done look. A little bit more colorful. And this shade Heart that I'm putting all over the lid, if you just pop this on with some bronzer, no Valentine, also a gorgeous, this is like a 1-and-done shadow. It has a lighter base, but if you want that pinky base, put it over top of Valentine or the shade Cuddles, which is below it. Those two go good together. I'm gonna take a clean blending brush and just soften the edges of this look. Keep in mind, I don't even have bronzer on my eyelid for this look either. Taking a pencil brush and a little bit of Valentine. Just gonna keep this close to my lash line, but run it along. I also placed these two darkest shades to work as eyeliners. Don't count this as cheating for another eyeshadow. This is just for some definition, which I think is needed so I don't look weird once I put my mascara on. So to make this palette a one-stop shop, I also added those two dark shades for you to do some eyeliner if you wanted a quickie shadow liner. Let me pop on some mascara really quickly. And then for lips, I'm using Laura Mercier lip liner in Elegant Blush. Just a blushy pink shade. And the shade Love Language I made for these pink eyeshadows is the prettiest pearly light pink gloss. Oh, I forgot to curl my lashes. The mascara is still a little dry, probably. But this is look number 1 using just the two eyeshadows. I mean, technically I used 4, but just for eyeliner and for my base shade. So stinking cute. I love this one. Next eyeball, let's do these bottom two. Now, Cuddles, I put below Heart because this will give more of a base pigment. I did not set with Service, but that's okay. Let me use a brush for this one. This one I made more of a true shimmer shade because I wanted options where you could easily apply with a brush. This one has a little bit of peachiness to it. How pretty is it? Like, this is the most gorgeous 1-and-done shimmer as well. You don't need to add the pink that I'm about to add, but I just wanted to show you this one on its own for a pop of color to the lid. And if you want it to be more neutral, add a little bit of affirmation. I committed to just doing the duos beside each other today. But this peachy shade with affirmation would be delicious. So I'm just softening these edges. Don't have anything on my brush. How pretty is that pop of peachy pink? Then I'm taking a little bit of a more, which is one of my favorite blush shades now. Even though it's an eyeshadow, it's the perfect pinky blush. But I'm just going to soften the edges with a little bit of a more. It'll bring some of the pink out of the peachiness from Cuddles. Then look at that, for that super easy pop of color. Gonna take a little bit of quality time, just so it doesn't look weird and bare. I personally feel I need a little pop of definition on the eyelid. Just a little bit before I pop on mascara. And I also did that look so fast. That little pop of color is so cute with just a little bit of mascara on. You guys know I have very puny lashes, but this just gives a fun, this just gives a fun little pop. And since Cuddles has a little bit of warmth to it, I think it will look really good with Beso. Let me show you. So Cuddles on the lid, like don't pay attention to this. And Beso is one of the more pigmented gloss formulations, but it just brings out the natural flush of the face, and it's really natural and it wears down and your natural color comes through. Just look at that, such a pretty, fresh, light, springy makeup look with minimal effort right here. So I love this combo, this simple look. I didn't put anything on the lower lash, just kept it really bare and simple. We're gonna work down to this quad because I'm excited about the two looks that you can get. So I'm gonna start off with Treat, which for me was an unexciting color in the palette, but totally necessary to make a lot of the looks seamless that I envisioned. So while it wasn't the one I was most excited about, I wanted it to be a shimmer dark shade to bridge between a light glittery shade and a matte shade. And I've demoed that so much in my tutorials already, but I am just placing Treat all over my eye lid. And I'll put that on the lower lash as well. Please pray for my eye health after doing all these looks. My eyes are really, really sensitive to multiple looks in one day on my eyes, so I'm trying to be gentle here. I'm also taking a pencil brush and popping this on my lower lash line, keeping it pretty tight to my lash line. Take a clean blending brush, soften the edges, and you can just do this if you want. You don't even need to layer, but wait till you see. I would say Flirt right here is probably the most popular shade, which you guys are going to be sick to hear that I almost didn't put it in this palette, and it's everybody's favorite because it's got a blue shift to it, and I don't really care for blue eyeshadow, but obviously I'm glad I put it in and it actually is stunning. So I'm just gonna take Flirt on my finger, one of those shades I do recommend you use a finger with, and I'm just popping it all over Treat. Is this not the most perfect shifty purple blue look? And it's so simple. You could have even layered more of Treat if you wanted to get it softer and more quote unquote wearable. And then of course for liner, I'm taking some of Date Night, stamping that across my lash line, little wing. I've mentioned this multiple times, but I wanted a harder press so that it was less messy when I did things like this. Look at that really simple, shifty, simple, easy eye. Let me put on some mascara. I need to curl the lashes, but the mascara is still drying, so I'm gonna work on the other eye. So just making sure we're all blended. I'm so excited for this look, you guys. It is so cute. Taking Giggle, which is like a grayish purple. This look is gonna lean more gray silver, and it's going to be everything. Now you can go a couple directions. with this simple 2 eyeshadow look. You can take Giggle right here and you can just put it all over the lid like how I did with this eye and put 829 over top. Or we can do more of an ethereal fairy look like I'm doing. You can get a sick, disgusting, gorgeous halo eye by also applying Giggle on the inner corner. I think I'm going to do that. So you have a couple choices here. You don't have to do this, but this is going to look like a very detailed look, the one I'm doing with actually no effort. So just like that, blended beautifully. And now I'm taking 829, which this is a gorgeous one and done shade for glitter all over the eye if you want. I'm not even using glitter glue. I don't find it falls all over my face. I know some people do. I don't know why. My eyelids are naturally sticky. I don't know. But look at that. Effortless, gorgeous, easy halo eye. Or, like I said, imagine the glitter all over without Giggle in the inner corner. Can you believe this square, which can be one look, created these two very, very different looks? This is definitely the best quad for those very different two and done looks. And then for lips, for both of these looks, Kisses, oops, dropped it. Kisses is gonna look the best. Kisses is sold out right now. I hope it gets restocked. I think it's going to. But it's like the perfect nude neutral for shades of this tone. It is the best gloss. I see why it's sold out in the first 12 hours. Oh my goodness. But okay, these are the two very different looks that you can get with these 4 shadows. Let's move into, we'll take a break from purple. I'm gonna move into the neutral quad next. But take a look-see. I've actually decided we're gonna go a little bit rogue here. Like, you can do what I've been doing with the horizontal pair-ups, but I think for the neutrals, we're gonna do vertical pair-ups. But you can go whatever direction you want. This one is gonna be super simple. I'm taking Affirmation, which is one of the most important shades in this palette, because no matter what shimmer shade you put on the lid, this can be a background shade in the crease. So use this and literally follow with any other shade for any two and done look. This is just kind of a sculpting shade to give the eye a little bit of depth, and it's very, very pigmented and can be built up in depth as well the more you layer on, which is really important for a good quality shadow. Oh my gosh, I did both eyes again. We can overlook this, right? Just a habit. That's okay. We'll just continue working on this eye alone. This is just a very simple shaping shade anyway, so it's fine. So I have this on my lower lash line and my crease. Now we're taking Service. Now Service is very sheer, but as you can see with a shader brush like this, you can build it up. I even like to take it in the inner corner to really brighten up the eye. And this is as simple as it gets for a work appropriate, very easy eye, just that. And then I'm also gonna take some of Affirmation because like I said, it can be quite pigmented when packed on, and it literally works as an eyeliner too. I mean, I'm so proud of this quad that you can get the colorful looks that I've showed you in the last 4 looks, but with these essential eye sculpting shades. Can you believe with this palette you can get a look like this? Just saying. Mascara's drying before I give her a curl. So let's move over to the next duo. We're gonna ignore Affirmation. Actually, I'm taking my concealer brush, or you can leave it on, but I'm trying to stay true to two and done. I'm taking just a little bit of Quality Time now. This one, very pigmented, very deep, and I'm just gonna circle this and pat it here in my outer V, because I love touch all over the eyelid, kind of as the star of the show. I just want the shade to be kind of a background, just like that. See how easily that blended as well, Quality Time, despite it being a darker shade. And again, kind of doing the same thing, keeping it on the outer corner of my outer lower lash line. So just that. You could also go halo eye style and put this on the inner corner too. But Touch, it's a true shimmer shade and it's so buttery. This is the best inner corner highlight as well for any look you do with this palette. But don't sleep on it all over the eyelid. Just like that. Taking my blending brush back, bringing back quality time. Taking some more of Touch. A little bit more of quality time on my brush. Touch is so good. So pretty on the eye. And then of course we're going to use quality time for definition. If you want, this look doesn't need definition, but since I'm on camera, it looks a little better with some liner. Ooh, I have the perfect lip combo for this as well. BRB. I mean, the super simple neutral looks turned out so good. And then for lips, any kind of brown taupe lip liner I have on Pat McGrath Contour with my Snuggle Gloss, which is the prettiest. It looks kind of funky when you first put it on, but when it's blended out, this is the most gorgeous brownie gold nude lip for neutral eyes. So I love, 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 love this for the nude looks. And it's that great, glowy, glossy formulation from them. And it can be paired with any lip liner. Or we could go bold. Because I know LOML seems like a scary color. It's actually such a fresh, rosy pink for the spring and summer. So to neutralize it, you can use that brown lip liner on the outskirts and then use your finger to blend it out, and you see how much more approachable and wearable this is. Or if you want to go super bold, which is how I like to wear it, with like really simple eye looks, even simpler than what I have now. I like not using this with a lip liner, but like doing a better job. You see, even without the lip liner and kind of using this on its own, it is so fresh with a simple, it is so fresh with a simple eye like this. Anyways, that's with the neutral colors. Let's move on to the final quad. Now we're working on this final quadrant right here. So we're gonna do these top two, Date Night and Daydream. So I'm starting off with Date Night in that outer V area. That's it. I'm not going to do too much with the shade yet. Again, you could always do a halo eye with this combo. But I'm taking Daydream, which is one of the prettiest silvery purples. And I just want it to be the star of the show for this look. Ugh. This one has a nice base pigment to it as well, so it's gorgeous on bare lid. Like, look at that. How beautiful is that? Now I'm going back into Date Night, just bringing back that depth just a little bit. Like I said, mostly wanting this to be kind of a one and done look. But now I'm taking Date Night, the darkest color, and I'm pressing it on my upper lash line. And then I'm going to take pencil brush, smudge it, make it nice and smoky. Because this is the duo, it's still technically a two and done look. Look at that! Love it. And then just my normal wings to amp up the dramatics here. Obviously not necessary. I think for the most drama, I'm taking Date Night. I'm just smudging that on the lash line. But are these two not a match made in heaven? It's a little bit of lash. Last look. It's going to be unbelievably simple. I'm taking Crush, favorite lavender shade, on a big fat blending brush. And I'm just lightly running this through the crease Not going too pigmented with it. I just want to lay this down because I'm really doing just a one done-esque kind of look with gifts here because it's so pretty and sparkly for a night out. And this shade I do recommend to use with the finger as I'm doing. And I'm even taking it above the crease, taking my blending brush just to soften the edges. A little bit of the matte shade along the bottom, not too much, because I mostly just want this glimmer all over, obnoxiously all over, and that's it. I might pressing a little bit of Date Night just on the lash line. I told you I'm kind of cheating, but I'm not counting. A quick little liner. Lashes next. I'm finishing off the last set of looks fancy with some lashes since it's the last set. And then I'm just gonna do a contour lip liner from Pat McGrath. And then I'm gonna do my favorite. Everyone's my favorite, but I love this gloss so much. Love language. Uh-oh. There's a big soccer game for Jose right now. I just heard him throw the TV on, but this is the prettiest nude lip for this. Okay, enough doting on my own collection. These are the final two looks, but once again, I'm just, not that this wasn't planned, because it was, but I am so impressed with how I just did 8 different looks with this palette using just 2 shades next to each other, and all 8 looks looked completely different. So I hope if you picked up my palette and you were kind of unsure of what looks to create, that I simplified it for you with this video to continue to show you the versatility that this has. And I love it so much. This is the last dedicated video that I'm going to do for this palette. I just wanted to make sure that those of you guys who were starting to get your palettes in, that I could give you a little bit of inspiration and show you just how easy and not intimidating this palette is. So if you've purchased anything from the collection, thank you so much for the support. I am so excited for you guys to get your hands on this and start creating looks that I can see. I'll have the links down below if you're interested in picking anything up. And I need to fix my hair because it looks terrible. And with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.